Hey everyone, Couch Investor back to another video for today. So in today's video, we're going to talk about Alphabet, parent company of Google and all of its services. Of course, since the AI wars began, the talk of the town has been, well, is Alphabet investable? Is Google going to, let's say, lose its biggest moat, which is the search engine, right? The monopoly of the search on the internet. But should I remind you that Alphabet is much more than just search? Of course, the majority of its revenue and the income does come from that, from advertising, but it has YouTube, has obviously the browser Chrome, it has Android, and that specifically is extremely important. Android, right? The dominant OS for smartphones around the world. What is the default browser there? Google Chrome, right? Of course, there are some talks about antitrust issues, Department of Justice investigations. We're going to touch on that as well in this video because some things really are getting a bit ridiculous when it comes to Alphabet. So stay tuned for that. By the way, I hope you're seeing what I'm seeing here on the screen. Basically, Bing's AI chatbot asking you to maybe hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you enjoy this type of videos, and if you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to get the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to full.com/couchinvestor. And I know how ridiculous this seems, talking about Alphabet and Google search while showing you and using Edge and Microsoft Bing. But I've been trying this out for more than a month now, and I'll be making a video summary at the end of the month. All right, so first up, I just want to touch on this news that came out not so long ago. So basically the CEO of YouTube is stepping down. Her name is Susan. Then who's going to replace her? Some guy named Neil Mohan. He came over to Google with the DoubleClick acquisition back in 2007. So he's been with the company for a long time. And he had a role to grow to become SVP of display and video ads. Now, why exactly did she quit? She's obviously giving the diplomatic explanation here, but to me, to be honest, when you look at YouTube over the years, it has become a more type of censorship platform. There has been no, let's say, solutions when it comes to scammers in the comment section, right? You've probably seen plenty of those in my videos. I try to delete all of them. I think I've been successful in that, but on huge channels, you always see those scammers in the comments, those bots, and this has never been tackled over the years. I mean, Google, YouTube, Alphabet being a huge AI company, right? They're investing millions, if not billions in that. I don't think it's that difficult to figure out a way to manage a comment section because the comment section on YouTube has not evolved in years. Of course, YouTube as a platform has evolved in good ways, more shopping experience on the platform, better ads, maybe more monetizations for creators, obviously YouTube TV as well, some sports deals here and there. And then the future of YouTube is just extremely bright. Remains to be seen what they do with this, especially now with the new person as the head of YouTube. But overall, just wanted to cover this news. Then when it comes to Alphabet as a business, right? The talk right now is it going to lose its moat, right? Search. Of course, we all know that it is probably going to lose a little bit of market share over the years. Maybe not as much as you would think if you're reading the news, if you're watching YouTube videos, which funny enough, talking about how YouTube is going down, how Google is going down while making videos on YouTube. I think that's funny. But anyways, a quick recap here, right? This is revenue. So Google search and others, see, it has been a decrease year over year. We all know that, right? Since the majority of its business is advertising, we know that the ad market is down right now, should be picking up in the later half of the year, in my opinion, and I think in the market's opinion as well. But here, Google search and other, $42.6 billion. It's down year over year a little bit. YouTube ads is down as well. Overall, Google advertising went from $61.2 billion to $59 billion. Then we look at Google Cloud. This was basically the bright spot of this earnings report. So Google Cloud grew quite nicely from $5.5 billion to $7.3 billion. And we're obviously going to look at the profitability of it in just a second. But to me, the red flag here is, as always, the number of employees. They have to keep costs under control. I know that they've been, 12,000 people will be laid off or have been laid off. But to me, sadly, it's not enough. When you look at the amount of employees that they've hired in a short amount of time, and the results that the company has produced, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. And if it's not layoffs, then try to manage your business a bit more efficiently. We've seen this with every other big tech company, right? So why not Google? What does the market have to say so that Sundar takes action? Maybe the stock going back under $90 is going to maybe ring the alarm bells. Who knows? By the way, we're going to look at the graph a bit later on. Now, when it comes to the operating income, so of course, services is down year over year, but still the majority, $21.1 billion. Total income from operations year over year is down from 21.8 to $18.1 billion. But again, bright spot here is Google Cloud. Although it's still unprofitable, we became a bit more profitable year over year in this quarter. Went from negative $890 million to $480 million. If you continue like this, sooner rather than later, this segment will become profitable. And well, since cloud is continuing to grow across the board, even though growth is slowing down when you look at AWS, Azure as well, in dollar terms, they are still growing quite nicely. And then as I said in my last video with regards to Alphabet, this here is why a lot of people still think that Alphabet right now, under $90 especially, is extremely, well, appealing. Why is that? Well, free cash flow generated $16 billion. So if, let's say, the business, for one reason or another, let's say it's AI and suddenly the search business is completely destroyed, which, let's face it, is not going to happen, they still generated here $16 billion. Share buybacks can be issued, buying other companies, maybe creating something new that they've been working on for a couple of years that need a bit more investments right now. They know how to do it because they have a lot of cash on hand. They're generating a significant amount each and every quarter. Now, of course, I do want to touch on the, let's say, a bit negative part of it. And that's the fact that right now, since search, right, if we go back up, since search is still such a lucrative business for the company, it would be a double-edged sword if they suddenly want to cannibalize it by coming out with, obviously, their own, well, they did come out with their own AI chatbot, which is Bard. We again talked about that in the Microsoft and in the Alphabet video, the pros and cons of that, how it could destroy the search business, because instead of you clicking on links, instead of you clicking on ads, etc., you're getting the answers straightforward. So of course, it's going to eat the business that is generating billions of dollars for a company like Alphabet. Now, if they were so serious, then obviously their Lambda program is and would have probably been a bigger success. The question here is, what's their game plan? I've seen someone give the example of Apple, where the, let's say, iPod was their biggest driver of revenue and profit, and then came the iPhone. They knew very well that when the iPhone came out, that eventually it will eat all of the iPod's revenue and profit. But guess what? The iPhone became one of the best products launches in history. Could the same be said with Google and maybe a new type of search? To be honest, I don't know. I don't think I can answer this question right now, but these are the things you have to take into consideration when thinking about investing in Alphabet right now, because things will change whether you like it or not. Now, of course, as I mentioned at the start of this video, they still have Android, they still have their small investments for them, Nest, maybe even Waymo, even though I'm in the camp of, well, it's Tesla and that's about it. But hey, Waymo might be a success as well in the future. But Android is still a huge part of this investment here. Majority of smartphones run on Android. What's on Android? Google Chrome, Google Play. Of course, there's still this debacle, let's say, App Store, Google Play. Those are monopolies. Should we break that apart? Let's wait and see. Talking about breaking things apart, we first have, obviously, this headline right here with regards to Section 230, which is basically a law that gives internet platform legal immunity for almost all third-party content hosted on their website. So they have to go and defend themselves at the US Supreme Court. Why is that? Well, because apparently a family of an American college student who was tragically killed during the 2015 Paris terrorist attack, they blame YouTube for not removing enough videos with regards to ISIS terrorist videos, etc., recommending them to other users. And basically, they're accusing Google, YouTube of, well, the unfortunate death of their child. Which this in itself, I think Article 230 should have been rewritten. not completely removed, but it should be rewritten. Up next, we have the Department of Justice proceeds with Google Maps antitrust investigations. So, Justice Department's officials have been meeting with Google's competitors and customers recently to determine who could serve as the best witnesses in any potential litigation challenging the Alphabet unit's dominant position in the market for digital maps and locations information. Of course, we know that Google Maps is extremely popular. Apple's Maps is apparently also very popular, so they could make the case that, look, there is another option if you want to. But of course, we all know that Google Maps is, just like Google Search, the dominant platform out there. And then lastly, we have a bit more information with regards to another investigation. So here, the Department of Justice accuses Google of deleting evidence in antitrust case. So the department has asked a federal judge to sanction Google over its intentional and repeated destruction of written communications, noting that the company has long had a policy of urging staff to communicate via off-the-record chats, which are automatically deleted after a day. Again, this is not painting a great picture for Alphabet. And now last thing here before I conclude this video, obviously the chart. Remember last time I told you, well, it tried to go over the 200-day moving average. This time, same story happened here. It tried, got rejected pretty heavily, then went under the 20 and the 50-day moving average. And now we're sitting on this. I drew this line just before because, well, it was a previous support around $90, between $85 and $90 back here, and also back in 2021, January 2021 and November 2020. Could this prove to be a support line yet again? Remains to be seen. Right now, we're still bullish on the MACD. RSI is not oversold, not overbought, pretty neutral here. This is again on the weekly chart. And so if we continue to go down, we're entering no man's land because as you can clearly see here, we have not been under that $90, $85 mark for a long time. Now, does that mean that for long-term investors, this is the opportunity of a lifetime? It could be. It could very well be because, as I said at the start, as I said with Meta, with Netflix, it's always the loudest when we're near a bottom. Could we be near a bottom right now? Yes. Could I be mistaken? For sure, I don't have a crystal ball, but for long-term investors, taking a, let's say, chance with a very profitable company like Alphabet, I think you can rarely go wrong. Of course, this is not financial advice, but do share your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think that Alphabet under $90 is a no-brainer? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.